Okay, next up is going to be Apocalypse Online, an Apocalypse Lit RPG adventure written by Robin Weidman. It is 507 pages, $4.99. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. Here's the author's description. At first, everyone thought it was a game, but aliens have arrived and they are turning people into fertilizer. Brad and Sam are gamers, and when they started playing the hot new game Apocalypse Online, they had no idea that the game was a preview of reality. With the help of a benevolent alien AI and nanotechnology, our heroes have a chance to survive the apocalypse. They just have to survive, level up, and find other survivors. Jake is no gamer, but when he finds out aliens have arrived, he'll do anything to protect his sister Sam. Will they be able to grow strong enough for the second wave, or will they become alien plant food? Okay, this is a multi-narrative RPG apocalypse story, and for me, it was kind of just okay. It doesn't do anything wrong, but it doesn't do anything new and bring anything different to the table. I've read plenty of RPG apocalypse stories, and this is kind of just par for the course. It's very slice of life. There isn't really a plot here at all. You mostly just follow the three separate main characters as they deal with the sudden invasion of aliens that mimic a recently popular hardcore mode MMO. And as far as the story goes, again, not much plot. The characters wander around, they fight a variety of monsters and some oddly antagonistic anti-RPG pill people, which was kind of a weird thing to introduce. They take upgrades for or level, and for much of the story, I kind of wondered where it was going, or if the main characters ever get some big quest that would give them direction to solve the apocalypse or fight back. Instead, it's mostly just like them fighting monsters randomly or going on some minor side quests to find upgrade stations or save some other survivors. It felt like more like a tutorial than the main game. On the game mechanic side of things, not bad. Again, people that pop a special pill designed by the aliens get an RPG interface and an AI that helps to direct them and give them advice while they're leveling. These folks, the people who on Earth who survive the initial attacks, can either take that pill or gather ether from monsters and use it to kind of in a cultivation style, kind of expand their power base. But the folks who take the pill, they get ether in exchange. It's their version of experience points from killing monsters when you use to level, get a class, get gene therapy for some unique bonuses, or use it as a kind of currency to make 3 items from a 3D printer set in these upgrade stations. Again, nothing really new here, except for like maybe the gene therapy aspect. I was a little disappointed the characters didn't level more. I think they only hit level 1 or 2 for the most part in the entire story. But again, that's part of them being maybe on the hardcore mode of the RPG apocalypse. The alternative to leveling is in cultivation. But even that was definitely a bigger disappointment, because if you're going to introduce cultivation into a universe, it should probably feel like cultivation, and it really didn't. It's not really developed much. I think in the entire novel, there's about, 5 paragraphs that say, oh, you need to like stretch your energy as you move around, or like the beginning of like establishing a core and like, binding it to your and it's kind of disappointing. I've read plenty of cultivation novels, and this was definitely among like the least interesting descriptions of what cultivation could put. I mean, it might be something that author plans to expand in like the second book or later on in the series, but for me, the cultivation aspect was super weak. Overall, nothing negative, nothing outstanding about the story. It's kind of middle of the road. I think a more focused plot would have brought some of the elements of the story together better and created more tension. But again, overall, it's kind of an okay story. For me, Apocalypse Online, it gets a score of 7.2 out of 10. Still had a fine time with it. Nothing bad. Again, I still think it's a good story. It's just more along the lines of, oh, this is okay. I'm not sure if I'll read a second book in the novel, but I wasn't... I didn't regret, I guess, reading book number 1. It had potential, but it felt a little loose for me on book 1 at least. So it's Apocalypse Online with a score of 7.2 out of 10, which is still a good review score.